Yeah.
Tell you when. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, welcome back. So I teased this segment as I officially met the happiest person on earth. I mean, there's no comparison. It's not like, oh, she was this person's a close second and that one just edged her out. Sara Mare is actually one of those life is really good and I just want to marinate in all the goodness kind of people that you very rarely meet. She also does like 1,000 things and is happy doing all of them. So I'm just going to bask a little bit and hope that some of your happiness osmosisly. I would like to take that. Yeah.
Let me spread some sunshine on you.
Don't even spread it. If you could just donkey kick it at me. I want to be able to take as much in as quickly as possible.
I'm going to video you right now and just play you for myself every morning when I wake up. I don't feel so fabulous.
You should do that. Happy. So Sara Mare is a radio talk show host.
Mm-hmm,
you are a singer.
Yes.
You are a life coach, would you say?
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you're working on now.
Well, right now I'm actually developing a new fitness and life program. It's a 3-pronged approach to fitness, which is life, therapy, meditation, and fitness, keeping your body in shape.
What is a life program?
Well,
do I need that? I think I need it.
I think everybody needs it.
Yeah.
I think that the 3 work together. We all need somebody to talk to kind of parse out what's going on, to get a little bit of more of an objective perspective, so we're not just emotionally driven.
Yeah.
And we're able to feel more balanced and heard and understood. So I'm a psychoanalyst, and right now I'm finishing a doctorate.
Wow.
So I work with patients as strictly in psychoanalysis, but I also think that life coaching coupled with fitness, like doing an overall workout program and meal plan, as well as a meditation program, is just a really wonderful overall life fitness style that I'm promoting right now.
So take a step back. What's a psychoanalyst? Is that a psychologist? Is that like a therapist? Is it somewhere in between?
It's both.
Okay.
So, but in the strict field of psychoanalysis, there are specific ways that you work with a patient, which is that you want to kind of remain a blank screen that they can sort of project their ideas about you onto, and then work through some of their inner, kind of intrapsychic ways of speaking with themselves through speaking with you, so that they start to work through old patterns that aren't working for them anymore by working them out with the relationship with the therapist.
So who needs you? Who's the person out there that's I need Sara Mare in my life?
Everybody.
And obviously besides everybody and me. At any point in your life, if you're going through a problem or if you just want to enhance your life a little bit.
I think that overall, it's really helpful for everybody to have somebody to talk to.
Yes.
I think that there's a bit of a taboo. It's like, oh, I see a therapist. People don't always
Unless
want
you're in New
people to
York
know.
or LA and then you're bragging.
Then it's good.
I see 3 therapists.
All for different reasons.
For different reasons.
Yeah, exactly. So ultimately, I think that people, if they can come to terms with the reality that it's a really helpful tool to have somebody in your life that's on your side, that you can talk to about these deeper, things that you kind of want to keep secret sometimes, even from your primary relationships, that everybody can benefit from.
But Sara, why is it taboo for people to work on their mind, but it's not taboo for people to go out and get a trainer to work on their bodies, which is what people see all the time, which is what a lot of other people would hide. Oh, I can't seem to lose 15 pounds, I'm just stuck.
Yeah.
I'm quick to go get a trainer.
Yeah.
But yet they hide everything that's between the ears because somehow why is that taboo to get someone to work on your head but not on your body?
That is such a great question, and that's exactly why I've developed this 3-pronged approach to fitness, because it seems to me that a lot of times people want to work from the outside in. So somebody will go to a trainer and they'll have these 15 pounds that you're talking about, or 30, and it's really psychologically driven. The eating habit becomes, a way to feel comfort.
Yeah.
And so you can work out in the gym all you want, and you can pay all this money for this trainer, but the psychology of getting to the gym, getting yourself motivated, and also keeping yourself psychologically fit so that you don't fall into all of these pitfalls of self-sabotage or just seeking comfort through things that ultimately aren't going to make you feel good, like food.
All right, what's the 3-pronged approach called?
So it's the 3-pronged approach to fitness: life, fitness, meditation.
All right.
Bam, bam, bam.
And you teach it, or we buy it, or we listen to it, or how does it happen on my face?
I'm in the process of setting up a website.
I just broke down the question. Let's get to it. Like, how does it happen to me?
Well, I can.
When am I fixed?
I think there are going to be a couple of different ways that I'm going to be able to reach people.
Okay.
Some people aren't always going to want to meet in person. People don't have the time. It's a 90-minute session. It can happen weekly. It can happen bi-weekly. I'll be able to meet with people on Skype. I'll also be able to set up an app that you can put on your phone that reminds you of these, these basic points throughout the day to stay balanced.
That you'll help come up with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly, because it's all very personally, developed for whatever your needs are. And also through my radio show, which is called Talk with Sara Mare, and it's on voiceamerica.com on Thursday nights. I'll be able to talk more about what that means, what the approach is, and what it means to have that kind of a person in your life, such as I am.
Have you started your radio show yet?
Yes, the radio show's been going on since January.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different beast, right? From just talking one-on-one with someone, talking one-on-many.
Such a good point. And
Tell me
also
what
the
you think about
interview
it.
process is completely different from the therapeutic process, talking with people. I find myself on the radio show kind of wanting to process things with, to ask questions, ask deeper questions, and and it's a little slow. But that's what we do in the in the psychoanalytic setting.
Right.
But for an interview, you kind of want to just keep moving sometimes. So you want to kind of hit a few different points, get to the meat of whatever the interest is, and then move on.
Because in radio, you have in your head a little bit of an idea of what the answer is going to be. But I'm sure as a psychoanalyst, you don't want to know what the answer is. You want them to be as honest and raw as possible so you could do something with that information.
In fact, you never want to have the idea that you know what's going on with them, because you don't. Right? We don't really ever know what's going on with another person. What we want to do is help them say what's going on with them in the moment, and it might change.
We're talking to Sara Mare, who I obviously pronounced your name wrong in the beginning. I apologize for that. Sara's got a really cool new 3-prong approach to life and making your life better, more complete, more balanced, more meditated, not medicated. And she's also got a cool radio show on Monday?
It's Thursday nights, every Thursday night at 4 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Where?
On voiceamerica.com. It's called Talk with Sara Mare, and you can also find me on Facebook at Talk with Sara Mare, and on on Instagram. I'm also a singer-songwriter, so Instagram is Sara Mare Songs.
Like when she's not doing all the other things that most people would just do for their entire life, she's singing, and in a really big way. Tell me about that.
That is so gratifying. I mean, I love putting my my feelings, my personal experiences into poetry. I've always written poetry since I was a child.
One more thing, list of things that you do, Sara.
I love to express.
Yes.
to just get in touch with energy and find ways to express it and channel it. That's really what I'm all about. So that's that's what feeds all the different things that I do.
So do you write your songs?
Mm-hmm.
You write your own songs? Mm-hmm. Of course you do.
Hence, I have no fingernails right now because I've been writing songs and I can't play the guitar with my fingernails.
Wow.
I love it. Yeah.
So maybe this
really
interview should have just been, this is Sara Mare, here are the 8 things she can't do. Why don't we just do, do you play volleyball?
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
I feel like I can do anything.
I know that. No, I'm picking up on it. You're kind of annoying.
I am annoying.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, I understand. I certainly, I don't mean to come off like I can do anything.
Oh
but
gosh,
I just
no.
love, I'm very curious, and I love to just apply myself and challenge myself and be alive. I just think it's such a wonderful life, and we should celebrate and just be there.
So for people that just don't have that same zest that you do, which clearly you are so spirited and you're such a happy, curious person, I mean, what advice do you give to someone right off the bat who's not sitting down with you as a patient, but just trying to glean something from who you are and what kind of spirit you put out into the ether? I think people are always asking me, how do you get up every day and motivate yourself and push yourself? And I know that from a fitness perspective, but you know that from sort of a life perspective. What would you tell them?
Well, you do a lot also. So you probably have some ideas for yourself, because I think it is different for everybody. What motivates each person is very individual. But I do know kind of across the board that it's so important to really get in touch with what makes you want to keep living. What do you love? What do you love to do? And what makes you want to get out of bed in the morning? Because we all have things that we're passionate about. Yes, it's to say that there's no passion inside a person, or for a person to say they have no passion, is I think it's pretty far-fetched. I think if one person sits down and they really just like go deep and listen to their internal voice, you're gonna find something that really turns them on, you know, and that's the life force, that's the libido that pulses in all of us. You know, we don't know why our heart keeps beating every day, but it does, and that's like we're connected to some living source that allows us to just continue living and continue expressing and continue creating, and that's what I want people to get in touch with. That's what I want to help people get in touch with, and that's something that I've turned to getting in touch with in my own life, and that's what keeps me going.
Sarah will take questions, so kind of let me know if people have questions coming in.
Of course.
Is that how you start every session? Do you start when you start talking to someone? Is it just tell me what it is that makes you happy, and then let's move on from there?
That is how I work with each person in a coaching program.
Okay.
And a psychoanalytic setting would be a little different. I would just let them talk, and we'll work from there, and I'll get to know them from there. But in a coaching session, yes, what do you love to do most during the day? What is it about that you love? Because sometimes it can be something that's not necessarily the most healthy habit that they think that they love, but it's actually something about that habit
Right.
that's feeding them, that we can find other ways to get to that part of themselves.
Okay, so let's do you, Sarah. What is that for you? What's the thing? What's that passion? What drives you? What gets you out of bed every morning? Besides the show, besides me,
Being
obviously,
with you,
besides
yeah.
me, obviously. Right.
I really love working with people. I love hearing what's happening inside of a person, and being able to empathize and tune into what the truth of that person is, and to help them grow. That's one of the things that really motivates me. Like I take a meeting to Rikers Island once a month and work with the female inmates there. And people say, why would you do that? You know, isn't it scary going through all those different doors and all the doors locked behind you, and it's a scary hallway? And I tell you, every time I go, that doesn't even really affect me. I know where I'm going, and where I'm going is to connect with the hearts of these girls who feel like nobody cares about them and nothing in their life really matters. And I know that that's not true. I know that every single human being matters, and we all can grow from listening to our hearts and feeling valued and validated. And sometimes we have to give that to ourselves first, but we have to feel it from another person in order to be able to give it to ourselves, and that's what I really love to share.
How did you get involved with Rikers? Was that something you wanted to do? I mean,
it was something that I wanted to do, and something that I realized that I had an ability to connect with that particular demographic. And when I realized that, I felt like it was a calling. It was something that I needed to be able to reach out to these girls and try to at least give them, you know, a sense of hope within the world that they feel confined to. A lot of them, you know, will say they'd rather be at Rikers or in jail than on the streets, and that's a difficult concept for a lot of people to get in touch with, because it's like, oh, why would you want you? But there's food, there's shelter, and they're not, you know, at every turn
relative safety.
Exactly, they're not at every turn being challenged for, you know, whether they're going to continue living.
Wow.
So it is. It's really touching.
What were you like as a kid? Was this you walking around on the playground being like, you just don't seem happy? What I think you're going to want to do is just play a little more hopscotch and really figure out who you are, Jimmy. And then be like, what? Tell me about how you fell into all of this.
Well, let's see. I grew up on a college campus. Do you know Bard College?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a campus up on in the Hudson Valley. It's on Annandale Road. I don't know if you know. There's a couple songs written about it. Bob Dylan spent a lot of time there.
Oh, okay.
So, I grew up on the campus, and I guess my first role model was Pippi Longstocking.
Okay, why?
Yeah, she's so vibrant and independent, and she had her own little family that she'd created through who she wanted to be around, and they weren't all people. Some of them were elephants and animals, and you know, she had a lot of music going on around her, and she was always dancing and putting on different costumes and creating shows and going out, and she got an idea in her mind, and she went out and she did it. And I felt like
you knew all that as a child.
Yeah, that was what about her inspired
Most kids
me.
would say, I like her braids. That's what most kids say when they say, what do you love about Pippi Longstocking?
You know, that's interesting. I did like her braids.
You liked her
and I did wear braids like that.
Of course you did.
But I liked how she lived her life.
Okay.
And I guess, you know, as a child I was left to my own to create my own life in a lot of ways. I wasn't told like you need to be on this track and this is like the way that you're going to fit into society and you have to become this to become that. I mean, a college campus does have a relative amount of, you know, it is an institution, so there are a lot of rules, but because it was Bard College, it's so free thinking and so, you know, everybody's like an artist and just there, you know, trying to figure out how they want to express themselves.
Right.
So I grew up around that, and that was sort of the way of life. That was the norm, and if you tried to conform, you were sort of odd.
Did you end up going to Bard?
I didn't go to Bard, no. Okay. I ended up going to Stella Adler for acting school.
Okay.
And then William Esper for acting school, and I studied, so I was in the acting industry for a while, and then, but music was always like my, you know, my calling, so I just kept on writing music. I'd been doing that since I was young.
But don't you think it's funny that someone who is so good at analyzing yourself and other people originally decided to go into an industry where all you're doing is portraying other people, so you don't have to analyze who you are, you get away from who you are to be other people?
It's really interesting that you say that, and really insightful. It's something that a lot of people seem to think about the acting industry, and that was one of the reasons that I felt like I didn't quite fit in, because I don't like to put a persona on, and I don't really like to, I don't know, the business of it was a little difficult for me, as a little false. However, I think that if you look at the really authentic actors, the truth of the actor, it's very similar to psychoanalysis, and that what you're doing is going into the internal life of the character that you're looking to play, and you're trying to figure out what makes them do what they do, and you're trying to understand emotionally what makes you do what you do, and then find a bridge between yourself and that person so that it's authentic to you. So if they're really motivated, say that you're playing a character, you know, on a soap opera or something, who's really motivated by money, and all they want to, you know, and it seems like all they want in their life is to create this, you know, this fabulous persona that they then, you know, don't really have to be themselves, and that's the character, and they're kind of evil and mean and all of that.
Yeah.
So how do you play that? You don't see yourself that way, maybe, but you try to find what motivates me, and then give that to the character, even though the lines are, the words are that they want money, and you're still trying to figure out for yourself what would make you tick in that way.
Okay.
And then you sort of bridge that gap. So you really have to work with yourself as a palette.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, and then in order to really be, continue to grow as an actor, I think you have to be able to continue to ask yourself those questions, and continue to be vulnerable, and continue to be really raw in the character.
Do you still act? Do you still want to act? Is it a part of the 55 things that you're doing right now?
I love it. I mean, I did really enjoy it. I did a lot of theater, because most of the really wonderful roles have been written for stage. So I spent a lot of time doing Tennessee Williams, playing Maggie and Cat in the Hot Tin Roof, and you know.
Wow.
And I played Stella and Blanche. I did a lot of David Rave, like the different Hurly Burly female characters.
Yeah.
You know, so I really liked the edgy stuff, you know. So yeah, I mean, if somebody, I have an agent. I do go on auditions, but it's not like my main pulse.
It would be the psychoanalytics, not the singing right now. Would be your main.
The singing and the life coaching, psychoanalytic, and the radio hosting are all working really well together. So
okay.
Yeah.
So all the free extra time you have, I'm just curious, what could you possibly ever have more time for besides a friendship with Larry Fish?
And I am lucky for that.
Which takes a ton of time.
It's very unrewarding in the long term.
I could have told you that. No, I'm joking. What do you do in your free? What is someone who analyzes other people and yourselves and knows sort of the human mind so well? Like, what do you do to relax and to not overthink?
You know, one of my favorite things to do to relax, and you're going to laugh at me, is to work out.
Laugh at you? That's my Bible.
Okay,
like, that's my
I thought you were going to say, like, that's a whole other thing to do.
Well, I'm sure
but
it is.
But it really relaxes my mind.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the things that I really savor every day, that, you know, hour and a half that
To
I set
yourself.
aside, to really just listen to the music I want to listen to,
Yep.
get the headphones, and zone out and really just focus my mind on, you know, psychologically on pushing myself and pushing my energy and pushing my body, and I feel so great after I do it. I never say, oh, I wish I didn't go to the gym.
That's
today.
what I always tell people. I go work out. Nobody in the history of working out has ever said, oh, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I
Never.
didn't burn calories and get stronger. Like, oh, why did I do that? What a terrible decision.
Never.
So our audience is really big on, right, Connor, on takeaways. And so what would you say, like, could you give us something we could do every day, even if it's something small? People always ask me, what's one workout thing or one diet tip? Like, give us something small that we could do every day to just get us started on the path towards some sort of, like, well-being, emotionally, mentally, physically.
I would say, you know, I would say it like this. If you can sit down every day for 5 minutes and just write stream of conscious, just write down whatever's going on in you, or even you put it in your iPhone. You can do it on the train. You can do it anytime, and then spend about 5 minutes just sitting and breathing and just trying to feel your diaphragm opening, feeling the heat of your breath in your body, feel your heart beating. Try to rub your fingertips together, feel your senses beginning to open. That right there will balance you and get you more in touch with what's happening inside your body and inside your mind. It's 10 minutes a day. It's really not asking a lot. We can waste 10 minutes worrying about our 401k or our future very easily. People do it all the time, or they get into petty arguments about stuff that's really because they're not feeling balanced. They're just arguing with somebody. So give yourself that self-care where you try to listen to your internal dialogue by just stream of conscious writing whatever's going on. You can delete it if you want to. And then spend about 5 minutes, even 3 minutes, just opening up your breath, feeling the movement of your breath in your body and the heat and the exhale through your heartbeat. And then I would say drink a good amount of water throughout every single day. That'll keep you really balanced, and it'll keep your blood circulating and keeps your nervous system really mellow. Try to drink at least 3/4 gallon a day, and try to get to the gym half an hour a day at the least. At the least, if you can get on some cardio for 30 minutes. I mean, I like to do at least an hour, but I would say that if you can give yourself those things, everybody in your life, that much happier, and you will be that much happier, and you'll be able to make much more, clear, grounded decisions about where you want to go next and how much attention that you're able to give the people in your life today.
You have such a calming way about you. I almost just fell asleep out of relaxation by you just talking. It's like you could read the phone book to me, and I'd be like, oh my, this is so lovely. I love this. And I would imagine people approach you the same way. You just have a really easy way about you, which I would imagine translates on stage when you sing also. It's probably very warm and inviting. Where could people see you sing next?
Well, so I have a show this Friday night, March 10th at 7 p.m. at Rockwood Music Hall on stage 3, which is the big stage, the big room. So I'm really excited. I've never played there before, and in fact, you're right. The beats per minute, the BPM, the tempos of all of my songs when I perform them live is like very slow. It's like 80. I'm like, all right, guys, we're in rehearsal, and I'm like, all right, guys, that was a little too fast. It was 82. We're going to 80 now. And luckily, I have a drummer who's very devoted and loves to just play slow hypnotic grooves, because a lot of drummers are like, wait, I don't want to play this. I want to jam, and I get it. But I really love the real slow, hypnotic, kind of calming and sort of, I don't know, it brings people into a different place in themselves to be able to really tune into slowness.
Who would you say your music is most like? Who would you liken yourself to? If people want to get an idea of what it would be.
The people that are mostly
like Barry Manilow.
Do you know who Hope Sandoval is?
Do I look like someone who would know who Hope Sandoval is?
I don't know. Do you know Mazzy Star? Mazzy Star.
I know Mazzy Star. That one song they sing.
Fade Into You, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah.
Fade Into You.
Yeah, and it's really slow. And
yeah.
So she has her own band called Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions.
Oh, okay.
And she does a really kind of nice, slow, hypnotic kind of thing. Even Nina Simone, you know, the old blues singers, Billie Holiday, she was there. You know, there's a lot of space for the voice to just expand and hear the vibrato, the vibration, and all the different tones in the voice. Those kinds of singers are what really move me and motivate me to continue to develop my sound and continue working on expressing myself through music.
You have a birthday tomorrow.
I do.
What, do you have a birthday wish? Like, what could you possibly want at this point? When you put it out there, what do you want, Sarah? Sarah, throw it out there. Just get your diaphragm to just donkey kick it out there. Put it in the ether.
Wow. That's a great question. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about what I want.
I'm giving you all these good questions that you could use them on your radio show. Because you know what happens is we forego childhood when we somehow reach adulthood. And how do you know you reach adulthood? By means of how much responsibility is thrown on your lap. And then we never go back, right? So how many people ask other adults, hey, what do you want for your birthday? Like, think about it. Remember how amazing and exciting it was when we were a kid?
Yeah.
Well, now we're older, it's not as exciting to show off how old you are, and we have other things going on in life. But like, put all that aside and embrace your inner Pisces and tell me, what are you doing tomorrow? Do you want an ice cream cake? Like, where are you with I asked for an ice cream cake for my birthday.
You did?
And I got one.
Aww.
I hadn't eaten ice cream since like 1937, so it was definitely
1937, you weren't
hit
alive
to my
then.
gut.
But Jenna had a birthday recently too. We're both Pisces.
In fact, everyone in this room is a Pisces. Connor, when's your birthday?
March 16th.
March 16th. Larry, when's your birthday?
March 20th.
March
Oh,
20th. And Sarah's birthday is tomorrow, and mine was on Sunday.
We're all just gonna float away on the azure sea.
We just have a bunch of
singing. A bunch of fish
just a
around
bunch
here.
of fish hanging out here.
A bunch of mermaids hanging out.
Well, whatever it is you decide to do, I hope that you for 1 second can let go of helping everyone else and just focus on Sarah and enjoy it and embrace it and do all the things that...
Actually, one of the things I'm really excited about, tomorrow morning I'm going down to Cheddar TV at the New York Stock Exchange. They're going to be interviewing me there.
Cheddar's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm excited about that. And then I have vocal practice and workout and stuff like that during the day because I am prepping for a Friday night show. And then at 7, I'm interviewing on my radio show live a psychic named Mark Anthony. And I'm very excited about that because I have an interest in psychic abilities and how to cultivate them. I think that we all have them, and it's something that I've always wanted to study and to really sit down and try to hone those skills. So I'm really looking forward to speaking with him and learning how he operates in the world as a psychic, and then how he uses it for healing, and he also uses it in courtrooms. And most importantly, I'm interested in hearing like what it's like to be in relationships with people, you know, when you're that sensitive and that developed.
That's
So
a good
I'm
question.
really looking forward to that.
Mark Anthony.
Yeah, Mark Anthony.
Well, ask him how J-Lo is just after the divorce and everything. And
I'll ask him that for you.
ask him that for me.
I'm sure nobody ever asks him
No one's
that.
ever asked him that before. I'm sure he looks just like Mark Anthony.
Yeah.
How can people get in touch with you, especially if they would love to sit down with you and talk about the 3-pronged approach?
Oh, good. I would love that. You can find me at talkwithsaramare.com. That website should be active in the next 2 days. I have the email talkwithsaramare@gmail. You can find me at Facebook at talkwithsaramare. You can also listen to my radio show. It's on Thursday evenings, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, on voiceamerica.com, and you can call in tomorrow evening while I'm speaking with Mark Anthony the Psychic and ask any questions of me or him. Those are the best ways to find me. You can look at my Instagram page. It's Sara Mare Songs. You'll see some of my live performances and just what I'm up to daily.
Very cool. And if you guys are in New York, go see Sara Friday night, Rockwood,
Yeah, Rockwood.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Do it.
Come on down. It's gonna
Trust
be
me.
really fun.
As someone who just learned how good a singer she is, you're not going to want to miss it. Or go on her Instagram page and you could take a look at her music and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Sarah, you're awesome. I literally on your bio, and the last thing I wrote, happy person. It's really nice to have you here. You have a really warm sort of happiness to you, and it's contagious. It puts you in a good mood, and it's the biggest compliment I think you can give someone because you're doing things right, which is good.
Well, thank you for asking me to be here today. It's
I
really nice to meet you.
Are you kidding? Thanks for coming on. I know you got a lot on your plate. We wish you continued success. All the best of luck. Good luck Friday night.
Thank you.
And good luck with the radio interview, and come back and hang out with us sometime.
I
Or come sing with
will.
us sometime, or come cook with us. Do anything you want.
Oh,
Come lay down on the
good.
couch and just listen to me. And I'll be happy with that.
Oh, good. I'll lay back and you can listen to me.
I would love to tell you about your diaphragm, just the warmth and the touching and the
Yeah.
breathing and all of it.
Oh, good. I love
Beautiful. Sara Mare, thanks guys. We'll be right back. We're gonna cook a little bit.
that. All right.
So get your hungry on. We'll be right back.
Bye.